Wavesound Audiobooks presents an unabridged recording of Needle in a Haystack by Carly Lane, narrated by Nicolette and John Stretton. 1. Lottie Fairchild stood barefoot on the front veranda of the little old cottage at the top of the hill and sipped her morning coffee. She loved this view. Her hometown stretching from the top of the road down through the main street and along to where the old church sat, stoic and proud at the other end. The church had once been the hub of the small town, in its church on Sunday era, until it suddenly wasn't, and the parish decided to sell it off. Now the tourists flocked to it for its cafe and restaurant like the parishioners had once done for sermons. These days, the only sermon that took place in there was the occasional author talk that the book club managed to throw together. The cool morning air smelled like eucalyptus and wattle, and Lottie breathed in deeply. Soon it would start to heat up. The sound of traffic would replace the call of magpies and the odd kookaburra laughing, and the brief moment of serenity would be gone. The little cottage, with its fresh lick of paint and the newly weeded garden her grandmother had planted years before, looked like something from another time. It was old, built when the first pioneers settled Banalla around 1855, when small towns had started popping up all across the country almost overnight during the gold rush era. In the hallway was a framed photo of the house that had been taken in the late 1800s. It showed a horse and cart parked out front, and a family was posing on the front veranda. In the photo, the newly sawn timber hadn't yet been painted, and there was a rustic, almost primitive look to the little place. Lottie loved staring at the image, imagining herself somehow thrown back in time. She loved history, always had. She had a passion for anything old, which was why, when her mother decided to sell the family antique store, Lottie had left her government HR job in Sydney and returned home to save it. She couldn't bear the thought of the store being run by anyone else. It had been her grandmother's pride and joy, not to mention a dream come true for her. There hadn't been enough money in the business for two people, but for one, it brought in a tidy income. Lottie had grand plans for growth over the next few years, going into larger furniture and more expensive collectibles. As she finished the last of her coffee, Lottie headed inside, the screen door giving the slightest of squeaks as it closed behind her. Over the few...
Sample complete. Ready to continue?